Hello there, everyone. I am James Tate. That is Kyle Nilsson. Here we are with the Gilsson Nold podcast episode, if I'm correct. 14, right?
Nope, 13. The unlucky number.
Lucky number 13. Haha. So,
Lucky.
we're just going to get straight into it straight away. Let's do the weekly recaps, baby.
Woo!
So, let's start it off all the way in. Oh, wait, that's last week's. Hold on.
Thursday night football between the Steelers and the Browns.
Yo, boy! I mean, this one we don't really have to do that much on, because, it's some of the same narrative. The Browns' run game is carrying the Browns' offense. I mean, because that's doing somewhat okay, I think.
Yeah.
And the Steelers' offense is stagnant as all can be, but they have a really good defense. By the way, Browns won 29-17. Next up, Miami versus Buffalo.
And I
Miami
get this game of the week.
It's my game of the week as well.
It's a great
Miami
AFC
ended
East
up
game.
winning 21-19. Yeah, Miami ended up winning 21-19. As Nilsson mentioned, it's a great AFC East game. I think it goes just a little bit, further than that. This was surprisingly defensive.
For me, it was even. Because Tua and Waddle, whoo, what a duo.
I know, what a great duo, man. Also, Melvin Ingram. I don't know where you've been, but welcome back, I suppose. He's on the Dolphins. I never thought that. He was the Chargers linebacker for a while, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he was, actually.
Yeah.
Now look at him.
Yeah.
He's hitting things up in Miami. The biggest talking point of this game has to be at the towards the 2-minute warning of the second quarter, where Tua was definitely concussed, but he kept playing.
Yeah. I think the NFLPA definitely needs to investigate that, because I'm sorry, if you it wasn't even a stumble after he got up. He legit full on looked like he was seeing multiple people around him.
He was seeing ghosts, but they let him go out there, and I gotta hand it to him. Being cussed, I mean, they won because time ran out, but they still kept it close. Tua still played well.
And I mean, this game had everything. It had a butt punt, which somehow Mark Sanchez's ghost can now go to heaven because of that.
Woo!
It had time running out on the Bills. Josh Allen, for some reason, being blamed for that. I don't know why.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Also, Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator for Buffalo, freaking the frack out and throwing his tablet into the camera.
That was hilarious. That's a new meme plot for the rest of the season.
I love it, man.
Brilliant game.
Okay, next up is Cincinnati versus the Jets. The Bengals won 27-12. This was a really first half centric game, I must admit. Everything that the Bengals needed to get off their chest happened in the first 2 quarters of play. Then it just slowed down to a grinding halt.
Just grind. I got nothing to really say for this besides that the superior Joe won.
And it's Joey Burr, Joe Shiesty.
Joe Shiesty, even though he didn't win a Super Bowl, but he's always superior.
He's always superior. Then next up is Raiders versus Titans. The Titans won 24-22, and I must admit, I was a little taken aback. I thought this was going, I knew it was going to be close. I didn't know how close it was going to get towards the end. Derek Carr playing much better than I think people are giving him credit for, considering he lost. But I think at the end of the day, the narrative of this game is Titans figured out you can only win if you give the ball to Derrick Henry.
I mean, yeah, though I gotta blame Carr for something here. What was that throw? I mean, you probably don't remember it, but I do because I put it in my notes. But in the end there, I believe it was either for the 2-point conversion or it was for a touchdown. I think it was a 2-point conversion. He threw it right to the Titan player.
It was directly to the Titan player in the middle of the end zone. I was confused there. But there is one Raiders player that deserves some praise here, coming out of left field. If I'm correct, he was replacing Hunter Renfrow for the game because Renfrow got an injury. Mac Collins. I did some research on him. He was drafted by Philadelphia. He didn't do anything there for a couple seasons. Went to Miami, did very little stuff over there. I think he had 16 catches for most in terms of 3 seasons. In total of 3 seasons. He's been around the NFL for a while. He's 28, 29 years old. He had a breakout game, if you could even call it that. I'd like to see more of Matt Collins. First off, the name's fun. That helps. Secondly, I mean, you always like to see players succeed in this league.
Of course, but the problem with the Raiders is they're not going to succeed because the Rich Bisaccia's curse is going on.
Yeah, it's a new curse, the Rich Bisaccia curse. Is it
By the way,
Bisacki?
Pisowski.
Bisacki. I think it's Bisacki. We're not Italian. Don't sue us.
Yeah, please do not in this day and age. By the way, before we move on, I don't know if you noticed this, but this is a rare time where 2 AFC teams are on Fox. It's just weird.
I was a little like, what was going on there? Next game up, the New Orleans Saints lose to Panthers 22-14. I'm going to keep this brief because I have a rant incoming. The Panthers offense only scored, what? It was 11 points. No. Was it? No, 15 points. My mistake. Ooh.
Baker's bacon, man.
But that just shows the Panthers have a really average-ass offense for having Baker Mayfield, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and Christian McCaffrey. What the heck? Also, Chuba Hubbard. Very underrated talent at running back, not getting enough carries.
What the heck? For me, I don't have a Saints rant, so I'll just when I put notes down. The first question I have to ask is how Matt is still a coach, considering this is the Panthers' first home win in over a year. How? The second thing is, Dennis Allen, how are you still confident on Jameis Winston after he missed a wide-open throw? That's all I think I gotta ask, because I don't see it.
After that, it was Baltimore beating New England on the road 37-26, and though the score may deceive you, it was close for the first half, and then the second half, the Ravens just started running it up. Mac Jones hit a gritty. That was really dumb looking, and then he also may have said the N-word to Patrick Queen. I don't know, but that's what he hinted at on Twitter. And then he broke his... Well, he didn't break his leg. It's a high ankle sprain. But then he...
Probably Patrick Queen wanted to break it.
But then he gritted his way to the sideline, doing a crip walk as he made his way over there.
It's the Mac attack, man. It's the Mac attack.
Best thing I can say about this game is, man, Lamar Jackson... I'll say it from what Shannon Sharp said. Whatever asking price Lamar Jackson had before the season just went up after these first 3 weeks. And I wholeheartedly agree. If there's one, I've never understood why Kyler Murray got the money that he did, considering he's only been to one playoff game in the 2 years, now 3 years that he's been there. Lamar Jackson, give Lamar Jackson all the fucking money. This dude has showed time and time again he's improved from year 1 to year 2, improved from year 2 to year 3, and now he's improved from year 3 to year 4. This guy deserves your money, Baltimore. Why are you holding out on him?
Yeah, I think the only thing Lamar needs to do is just get a playoff win properly.
Well, he did beat the Titans.
And that's always a blessing.
Now, next game up, Detroit losing to the Minnesota 24-28. This one broke my heart because part of it was Dan Campbell making a dumb decision. Another part of it was the fact that Lions for 3 quarters were playing very great.
They were.
This is the 4th quarter they collapsed.
Especially Jared. Dude, I honestly think Lions possibly could have actually won this game, even after the dumb decisions. But Jared, for whatever reason, decided to force a ball in the end. Like, why did the Lions just implode on themselves? Oh, wait. It's the Lions.
Detroit.
It just happens. This game, Chargers lost, which made me depressed. This did not help in the slightest.
This didn't help either. The last thing I have to really say about it is people forget that Dalvin Cook is good. That's probably for a reason, because he may have
Vikings
beat his girlfriend who's in the army. We don't need to talk about this. This is not a serious podcast. Jokey. I mean, we don't know if that's true or not. Nelson,
if you want to talk about abuse, let's talk about Eagles abusing Carson Wentz.
Yeah!
What a transition!
Jalen Hurts did amazing, unlike Ned Fulmer in his marriage. The Carson Wentz played like crap, just like Ned Fulmer's
for 3
game.
Quarters, had 50 yards.
50 yards at 3 quarters, man. Who would have thought that Carson Wentz would go this far down, I mean... Gosh, I hate life, considering that I once genuinely thought that Carson Wentz was going to be the future of the NFL, and now he's nothing more than just a really crappy, okay to really average backup.
Who's always going to be given the title, will he have the 2017 season again? No.
Give it to Taylor Heineke. At least we know he's average, but he can do fancy stuff. He beat Tom Brady, motherfucker!
He beat Tom Brady clean!
Can Carson Wentz say that? No, he can't, because Nick Foles did for him.
Yeah, Nick Foles did it in the Super Bowl. Because Nick Foles ain't a bitch. Another thing has to be mentioned. Nick Sirianni. That's how I think you say it.
Sirianni, yep.
What a coach thus far. He has got to be the most untalked about coach amongst the rookie ones from last year. Brought a really weak Eagles roster from 3-6 to 9-8, and currently is sitting at 3-0 right now. He needs some credit, man. He's not getting talked about at all. This Eagles team is just really great all of a sudden, and no one expected this.
And the defense seems to have improved. Granted, they faced Minnesota and Washington.
But still, I'm impressed with the Eagles.
I'm still waiting out for a hero, but we'll see. Next game, Chiefs versus Colts. Colts beat the Chiefs 20-17. All I'm really gotta say about this game is the only reason why the Colts really won was because of special teams mishaps.
That's the only thing I really gotta say. And also, Eric Bieniemy and Patrick Mahomes' honeymoon phase is done.
Or as you put it in your notes, PAG.
Oh wait, I did. Eric and PAG honeymoon.
Honeymoon over. Okay, the Bears beat the Texans 23-20, and I was almost right. Once again, I thought the Texans were going to win pretty close. They ended up losing pretty close. But, Davis Mills, funnily enough, Nilsson knows this, but I had pretty much said while I was watching the highlights, man, Davis Mills is doing really good, much better than I initially thought. And as soon as I said that, he starts playing like crap the rest of the way.
it's just...
It's just hilarious, man.
It's fucking awful. And here's the thing I'm going to say. By the way, that INT he threw was awful as well.
Oh, gosh.
Fields. Firstly, Khalil Herbert, absolute gem on that Bears offense. He's going to carry that offense.
I want to see more.
Justin Fields. Bears fans, I just want to say this. His stats for the season so far. 297 yards. Yeah, that's his full yards. 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that he's more. I'm starting to think he's just Mitchell Trubisky, but they just darkened the color of the skin
and made him shorter, much shorter.
He's shorter than Mitchell Trubisky.
Honestly, every time I see Justin Fields, I feel like he's Kyler Murray's size. That could be way off of what his actual size is.
I think he's 6'4", 6'1", but that's beside the point. I knew this was going to probably happen in Ohio State. I think I even told Kyle once he was drafted. He never really had anything special whenever he was at Ohio State. He had a transfer from Georgia in the first place. He lost out to Jake Fromm. Yeah, what's Jake Fromm doing? But no, he never really had anything that popped outside of his mobility and escapability. He can make plays, but shoot, so can Marcus Mariota. If they wanted someone who can make plays, they'd get someone who doesn't win games. If you want to be on the highlight reel, then don't win. That's essentially what I'm getting with. Patrick Mahomes also has a playmaking ability, but he also has the understanding of knowing when to make plays and if he needs to. I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand. If you're a quarterback, we don't want you to be a playmaker. We want you to win games, no matter what you have to do.
It seems like that's Lamar Jackson's direction, because Lamar is kind of in that same field with Kyler and Justin, but Lamar's on a different tier compared to those two.
Oh yeah, definitely. Speaking of old Justin Herbert, he lost the Jaguars 38-10.
Yeah. I got nothing much to say on this, because as well as gold, I had the ranting session for that. But
by the way, this is my worst game of the week. By the way,
same here. Wait, is this my worst game of the week?
Well, I initially had Eagles and Commanders as my worst game of the week, but I decided just before we started the podcast that it was this blowout game. This was boring to watch. My gosh, dude! If you're talking about the funniest part is the Chargers Twitter account said they're bringing the fence back, which I just think is hilarious. If we're just gonna be cool, I'm gonna be very quick on it. The offense was stacked. Obviously, Herbert clearly is hurt. He was protecting his ribs more than he was launching balls. The defense, for some reason, they weren't rushing the quarterback. Trevor Lawrence had all the time in the world. He looked like he was back in Clemson again. He didn't feel uncomfortable, and that's the thing. In order to beat Trevor, you have to make him feel uncomfortable. He doesn't make plays. He's not a flashy quarterback. He doesn't have the biggest arm. If you make him uncomfortable, he's going to make mistakes, but they didn't make him uncomfortable, which is shocking to say, considering they have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa there, or Joey Bosa no more since he got injured. But we'll get to that whenever we get there. Overall, the James Robinson ran all over the Chargers. There's nothing positive to say for the Chargers outside of Herbert made one good throw. But as I said, if you want someone to show up on SportsCenter, don't win games. That's the moral of the story. Next up is the other Los Angeles team, the better one, the Rams, beating the Cardinals 20-12 in really dull fashion. This
Dude.
game, and
Cardinals, so many drops.
the best way I can describe this game is this is the difference between a veteran professional quarterback and a college quarterback who just got out of high school. It honestly felt like even though Matthew Stafford didn't do anything flashy in this game, and for once it actually helped, he just felt like he had more understanding and control of the field than Kyler Murray does. And this isn't a narrative that I'm trying to spin because he's playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare or whatever. What I am saying though is that it's clear to me that Kyler Murray, this game at the very least, just didn't have it all in there, and it didn't help that he was going up against Aaron Donald, who at any given point was tripping him up or making him throw it away.
I mean, the only person on this Cardinals team that actually was playing well was Marquise Brown.
I know Hollywood Brown, and that, as I said, he's an amazing athlete, and this is why I don't like people. Yeah, this is why I don't like people saying that the only reason why the Cardinals offense at times is stacking is because they don't have DeAndre Hopkins. Bitch, you have Zach Ertz, Hollywood Brown, you have a plethora of really good wide receivers. You also have Shoots.
I
What's his
forgot
name?
Hopkins was even out. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Well, I knew he was out because no one's talking about his one-handed miraculous receptions.
Honestly, I've read that says I'm not thinking you Hopkins, but I completely forgot you were even out, man, or even were a Cardinal.
He's not watching this video.
But I apologize if you ever want to kick my ass.
No, but like the Cardinals' offense. It doesn't help that Cliff Kingsbury is your head coach, and
That's never gonna go anywhere.
there's one decision that I thought was dumb this game. Okay, so you're down 20-9. You have only a few minutes left, maybe a minute left. Instead of going for it on fourth down, you go for a field goal in hopes of making an onside kick. You have a better odds of scoring a touchdown, getting a 2-point conversion, and then going for an onside kick to at least make the score look better.
And if you do get it with lesser time, you can go for a field goal instead of a touchdown. So it's like
it's just dumb.
God, I don't fucking know what the play calling is for this team.
Next up, Green Bay beat Tampa Bay shockingly 14-12.
Aaron Rodgers beats Brady for the first time in 8 years. Thank you. God, I just cannot.
You'd think this game would be much more high scoring, but all the points from Green Bay came in the first quarter, and all the points for Tampa Bay outside of a field goal or two came in the final quarter.
Yeah, but still, this was a really good defensive game. Like, Jesus, this game was intense.
I had a blast. Crazy to say that, but I had a blast watching this game.
And it's obviously not due to the fact that what happened in the end with time management and the fact that it was actually Brady's fault. Oh,
Delay of game, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Here comes the rant. So all y'all want Josh Allen to be watched out on because it was not his fault the ran out of time. Tom Brady forgets to delay a game, and also Tom Brady himself's just been playing not the best football this year, but no, he's still the GOAT. He's still the GOAT. Really? You sure?
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, Buccaneers have very poor offense right now because Mike Evans, Godwin, and Julio Jones were out for that game, but that's beside the point. If Tom Brady's the GOAT, Tom Brady was throwing it to average-ass white guys for how many years in New England and still was able to win MVPs?
He carried that whole entire 2013 Patriots team on his back. The fact they made the championship game is surprising. I'm not saying that these 3 weeks is going to change 22-year career. I mean, I wish it would, but like Tom Brady deserves to get some hate finally. I'm tired of him hearing he's a GOAT and he's playing good for his age. Shut up.
He's playing like a 45-year-old man going through a divorce. So it's just like any other 45-year-old man.
Want to report that fucking Adam Schefter?
Yeah, Shefty. Okay, so next up, quick time it. Falcons Seahawks. Mariota played good. Cordell Patterson carrying the Dolphins on his back.
Yeah, the Dolphins. He's carrying the Dolphins too.
No, I said the offense.
Oh, I think he said Dolphins.
Geno Smith played good. I think he's going to be the type of quarterback this year to have really great games, really bad games. The offense for the Seahawks played better, but granted, was that because they were going up against the poor defense, or were they actually fixing it out? Also, give Kenneth Walker III more carries. Please, I beg you, Pete.
Yeah, like Pete's going to listen to that. He didn't do it on the 1 yard line. He's not going to do it here.
Yeah. Okay, next up, 10-11, the Broncos win.
And the last 10-11 game was 2008, and it was the Chargers losing against the Steelers.
Okay, so Russell Wilson played like average until one drive, and people think he's back. Unless I see more consistency in this, no, Russell Wilson.
Who the fuck thinks he's back? Who?
I'll tell you who. Russell Wilson thinks he's back.
Let's ride.
Let's ride. No,
God,
the only reason why they lost is because Jimmy G doesn't have enough reps as the starting quarterback again after being not taking any reps with the starting team for half the year. So that's the only reason why they lost. Also, funnily enough, as I mentioned, Mark Sanchez's ghost can finally ascend to heaven of memes, and so can Dan Orlovsky's, as he no longer is known for being the idiot to run out of bounds. As that was
Hey,
Jimmy G.
at least in the case of fucking Dan, he had I forgot the Allen going
Jared
after
Allen. Jared Allen.
Jared Allen going after him. I also would run out of bounds. Jimmy did not have that at all.
No,
there was no Von Miller.
He had Randy Gregory near him. That's
He ran from like you're supposed to be sexy G. Why are you doing this to us?
And finally, the final game of the week, Monday Night Football. Cowboys beating the Giants 23-16. Do I have much to say here outside of Daniel Jones has shown improvement? However, he really needs to, stop throwing late game interceptions.
There's something huge to say here. Firstly, 3 weeks in, I am so glad Troy and Joe were on Monday Night Football. They're an absolute blessing to be on there.
Oh, I was on the Manicast.
Oh, yeah, well, too bad the Manicast isn't on NFL highlights. But the thing that needs to be talked about that pissing me off, that offensive pass interference, that was bullshit.
Yeah, they clearly ran into each other, and Trayvon Diggs, the lesser Diggs brother, was selling it. And as I mentioned, my dad, with that type of selling, he should be in the WWE, not in an NFL field.
He should. How could the refs look at that and see him run right into the guy by accident and think that's an offensive pass interference? Like, what?
Absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous,
in my personal opinion, I think that might have actually affected the game in the long run. It kind of did. Because if Giants got a field goal on that drive, they might quite possibly could have actually gotten the win somehow. But
I think so. I think it would have led to less pressure.
Exactly. But,
That's all for the recaps.
And now it's time for panic.
Is it time for panic?
Oh, fuck.
Okay, I think I'll go first since I have less things to panic on. I mean, I say that I have a lot of things to panic on.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, let's get to the break of it. The Jameis Winston experiment without Sean Payton. It's not good. It's not looking good at all. There's two pictures that swirled online after Sunday's loss to Carolina, where Jameis Winston on 3rd down and 3, where he threw it into double coverage in the end zone, causing for us to go for a field goal, which was blocked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of taking the check down to Alvin Kamara, who was clearly wide open. In fact, he was so wide open, literally Moses parted the Red Sea of defenders to show him it. But instead, he throws it into double coverage. Not even double, it's quadruple coverage. There were 4 defenders there on 2 guys. It was ridiculous. Not only that, but Jameis has just shown time and time again he only can really perform in the 4th quarter whenever we're already down and out, and it's dumb. And we didn't have Jarvis.
He's the opposite of Tebow. He's not getting wins.
Yeah, he's the opposite of Tebow, but we didn't have Jarvis with us this time. Jarvis has an ankle injury, it seems like. That's not good. Thomas has a toe injury, which is also definitely not good, which means the only reliable receiver we have in offense is Chris Olave, the rookie, who's doing amazing. Holy smokes! That's the only positive note on offense. Also, something else to note is the defense. They've been playing great all season long, but they've shown signs of struggle whenever the offense can't get going, which is problematic considering that the defense is supposed to be carrying us, which is not good. And historically, we have good defenses, but the Sean Payton era was really, really crappy defense after crappy defense.
Yeah.
Other than that, as I said, our backup option is Andy Dalton or looking to the draft, and honestly, there's no real good quarterbacks that pop out to me. Even Bryce Young is he's a good college quarterback, but can he translate that into NFL success? Caleb Williams, maybe. I'm not too sure if he's eligible. Spencer Rattler, definitely the fuck not. There's no one. Stetson Bennett? No, he sounds more like he's going to be a lawyer than an NFL stud.
Or a wrestler.
I mean, maybe, but no, I don't want to put my faith in him. There's no real quarterbacks really pop out to me in this draft class. Andy Dalton, I mean, he can be great. We've seen it time and time again. He can lead comeback drives. He's done it before. So I'd like to see Andy Dalton in it, honestly. I mean, look at that beard. Look at that beard.
He's a ginger. Push the ginger.
Majestic. We face Minnesota in London. I'm not going to get up at 8:30 in the morning just to see our team. We don't even have the games. We're going to be on the NFL Network. It's like, hiding a burial. It's like covering up a murder. I don't like it.
Death of the Saints. 2006 to 2022.
Rest in ripperonis. Okay, Chargers.
Chargers. Look at this picture right here, folks. Look at the amount of injuries right here. 5 of those were in the Jaguars game. And let's just say a few of these injuries are very much important, as in Justin Herbert, who, even though he was hurt in the Jaguars game, the fact that he's starting is just scaring me. It should be given to Chase Daniels, because I think Chase Daniels is good enough to win. He did the same thing for the Bears when he was, playing over like Mitch Trubisky, who I think was injured at the time frame, and he was still getting wins. If not, he was close enough. He's serviceable in the meantime. So stop pushing Herbert to possibly hurting himself as RG3 probably would. RG3 got pushed to his limits. I have a worried feeling same thing's about to happen to Justin. Then
well, RG3. I was going to say RG3 also had lower body injuries, not upper body injuries.
But still, if Herbert's ribs get even more affected, he's fucked, and that worries me a lot.
That is true. It is already affecting his throwing motion.
And then Rashawn Slater, a very important guy on our O-line, out. And let me tell you, that is pretty damn important considering Herbert's out here playing for some damn reason. Really important. Corey Linsley.
By the way, Rashawn Slater has out for the season with a bicep injury.
Yeah, that's not good. And never forget, there's also Corey Linsley, really important player. And the most important player on our offense, Keenan Allen. Still not back yet. And he might not be back until next month. Maybe even November time.
That sucks.
Still no J.C. Jackson, because J.C. Jackson's still healing. And and you see the rest of the players here, but I'm going on the ones that are real important. Joey Bosa's hurt. Again.
As I said, that's not good. That's not good, especially for a defender like his size.
It's just... it's so frustrating. Because I've been a Chargers fan for 11 years, and let me tell you, this just seems to be the repeating pattern of just injuries are always going to kill us. I don't even know what happened here. I said it in the last podcast. I expected us to lose against the Jaguars because, it's just Chargers. When we get to the prediction section, I'll say my thing on the Texans game, but I didn't expect this. Blown out by the Jaguars. How?
The Doug Peterson effect.
I don't know what to think on the Chargers. I'm generally worried and scared and already losing hope for this season because the injuries are scaring me. For whatever reason, no one on the Chargers coaching staff is thinking it's a bad idea to put Justin out there. Gosh, please just give it to Eckler. Please give it to Chase Daniels. Give it to someone, not Herbert. Let him rest. And that's all I got to say. It's painful.
Yeah. Yeah, now we're going to move over to Players of the Week. My quarterback of the week, in fact, Bill's quarterback of the week as well. Jalen Hurts, 22 of 35, 240 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 0 INTs, 123.5 passer rating, 62.8 completion percentage.
Let me tell you, Jalen, considering that wasn't he kind of compared to Justin Fields in terms because of how they are play style?
Yeah, the play style is similar.
But Jalen, it's not even one of those things where it's like a one-off game. No, Jalen, for the last 3 weeks, has generally been playing great.
I'm a little shocked as well. I'm a little shocked as well because, I thought... Remember, coming out of the draft, I had a lot of high hopes on Jalen Hurts, but then his first season as a starter, he wasn't doing particularly well. He was kind of average. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I may have been too high on him. He's not who I thought he was going to be, and then sort of I cooled off on him and thought he was just going to be average. And he has shown signs of being average in spurts, but no, he's just the last 2 weeks especially he's been on a roll. I mean, holy crap!
And I don't see this being fluke weeks. I think generally this offense for the Eagles too is just great. I think Nick has built a pretty damn good team.
Yeah, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown. There's also Dallas Goedert in the tight end slot. Very a litany of great talent on offense. Defense also has Darius Slay Jr. He's a great talent. They have CD Deuce, another amazing talent to have on your team. I know from firsthand experience. Other than that, there's nothing really much else to say on the Philadelphia. Yeah. Now, my running back of the week is Cordero Patterson, 17 carries, 141 yards rushing, 8.3 average yard per attempt, and a tutty.
For me, it's Khalil Herbert. 20 carries, 157 yards rushing, 7.9 average yards per attempt, and 2 touchdowns. Both of these guys carried their
respective teams. I mean, I saw both performances. I went with Cordero Patterson just for the sole fact that honestly, without him in Atlanta, I'm looking at 0-17 for the Falcons, or yeah, 0-17 for the Falcons.
Yeah. For
And
me, Oh,
this was sort of a breakout game for Khalil Herbert. I never really heard his name before prior to this game.
he was getting talked about quite a lot prior to this game. I think it's just the funny thing, just Khalil Herbert, Chargers.
Yeah.
But no, for me, I picked Khalil Herbert because, oh god, Justin Fields' stats in the game against Texans: 8 for 17, 106 yards, 2 picks, no touchdowns. If Khalil Herbert was not here, rip to the Bears. Like
They get their ass kicked by Houston.
he put this team on his back. Like, damn.
Okay, now my wide receiver of the week is Mac Hollins. 8 receptions, 158 yards, receiving 19.8 average yard per reception, and a touchdown. I already mentioned a little bit about him prior, so I won't go much more in detail. He played really amazing this game. He got a lot of passes that, honestly, he saved Derek Carr in some regards with his performance, but Devontae Adams was being double coverage. He couldn't hit Darren Waller to save his life. Mac Hollins came up clutch.
My wide receiver
They
lost. Yeah, they lost. Which that keep doing that. My wide receiver is Devontae Smith. 8 receptions, 169 yards receiving, 21.1 yards per reception, 1 touchdown. I mean, he's just a part of this Eagles offense. It's great. Both him and Jalen were just on a roll here. Surprisingly, considering the Eagles' touchdowns were all in the second quarter, all their points were actually. Still, he was on a roll this week.
Yeah, definitely. Now, my defensive player of the week, also Kyle's defensive player of the week, Roquan Smith, 6 solo tackles, 10 assisted tackles, and an interception to end the game.
Pretty important to that Bears defense, which is funny. I have 2 Smiths on here. But I got not much to say on him. I don't think any defensive players really stood out this week compared to the last couple weeks.
There was one guy who had 2 interceptions. I don't remember the team. I don't remember the game, but I was going to put him in there because the same thing that Marcus Williams had and the Ravens lost.
I was thinking about putting that guy too. I don't remember his name, but I think he was right under Smith.
I think he was in the Bears game, actually. Now thinking about it.
I think the reason why I add him because he lost. For me, I usually go for like a win because it's your player of the week.
Better looks better. Hold on a second. Continue without me or pause it.
All right.
What's up?
I'll just cut this bit out. This is good intermission time. Actually, no. Let's not cut this bit out. You get some Nilsson for a few seconds. So, let's get some Nilly action in here. Hello, brothers and sisters. It's me, Nilly. You know what I got? Oh, I know what you got, or what I got. Nilly got a new coat, a new jacket. It looks quite nice. I can't wait for you to see it. It's gonna make my attire look even better. You love the green sweater? Oh, you're gonna like this. It has a nice tan look to it. It makes me pop out. Nilsson's been thinking of ideas. And he's gonna give me the creative freedom to have a video for myself. You get to see some Nilly action. Some good old Nilly in the woods. Nilly exploring. Because y'all love the Nilly. And I've been missing y'all so much since the Minecrafts. So prepare for a vlog or a video just focused on me. No inside stuff. No gaming. I did that gaming that one time with the blokes and boy, was it ridiculous. But no. I can show you that YouTube and everything can be entertaining. Just outside in the woods. The trees. You can see my children. Children that grow on the trees. The leaves. It's starting to fall. Oh, Nilly playing in the leaves. Oh, that sounds fun, doesn't it? Sounds fun to me as well. What are we going to do here, though? We're still waiting. We're just going to be waiting for good old gold to come back. You know what? You're probably wondering, does Nilly watch football? And the answer is no. Who watches that? The No Fun League. The No Fun League. I like having fun. If I started my own football league, there'd be no rules. None of that. Players are gonna kill each other. And before you say, that sounds like a jail, just remember, that's 80s football in a nutshell. Flags, they came at the most important of times. But in this league, it ain't the 80s. It's like the 20s. You can get away with anything. So just invest into my company.
I'm back. So yeah, let's get to the rankings, shall we? The college football rankings. Yeah, starting off number 25, Kansas State. Wake Forest is at 24. They're down 10 from last time. 23 is Kansas. They're starting off at number. They were unranked last week. Minnesota 22. They were unranked last week. Or Joe Biden likes to say, Minnesota!
Right. Minnesota!
Florida State's up 1. Arkansas is down 11 after their embarrassing close loss to A&M. You are supposed to be the chosen one. You're supposed to defeat the Jumbo, not join them in mediocrity.
I hate you.
I hate you. Number 19 is Oregon. They're up 1. Pitt's up 1. 17 is A&M. They're up 1. Oklahoma is number 16. They're down 10 after their close defeat at Kansas State.
Which was a great
15 is Washington. They're up 2. Penn State. I forgot to rank them last week, so they're 14.
That's why they're unranked. That's
why they're unranked. 13, Tennessee, up 3. 12, Kentucky, up 3. Ole Miss, 11, up 2. 10, NC State, up 2. 9, Baylor, up 2. Utah, 8, up 2. Clemson, 7, up 1. USC, number 6, up Nilson. 5, Oklahoma State. 4 remains Michigan. 3, Ohio State. 2, Bama. 1's the Kings, Georgia.
Of course, Georgia's always number 1.
Now. Let's go to the NFL, where we take a little Deandra over to number 32, being Houston. 31's the Commies. That's going to be a comfortable spot for them, I imagine. 30's the Hawks. 29 the Jets. 28 Detroit. Shame. 27 the Raiders. Not so shame. 26 the Panthers. I hate you. 25 Indianapolis. Literally the definition of average. 1, 1, and 1.
Woo!
24 is the Falcons. 23 Arizona. Yeah, this seems fitting. 22 the Bears. 21 the Giants. 20 the Patriots. 19 the Saints. I don't want to talk about it. 18 the Jaguars. Nilson doesn't want to talk about it. 17 the Browns. None of us want to talk about it. 16 the Chargers. I definitely want to talk about it. 15 the Titans. 14 Minnesota. Or it's Nilson likes
Minnesota!
There we go. 13, the Steelers. 12, let's ride. 11, 49ers. 10, Dallas, which I don't believe they should be number 10. But
Rush is the Lush.
9, the Bengals. Welcome back to the top 10, baby. 8, Buffalo. 7, the Bucks. 6, the Chiefs. 5, Baltimore. 4, Green Bay. 3, surprisingly, Miami. 2, surprisingly, Philadelphia. Unsurprisingly, number 1 is the Rams.
Let's not ride.
Yeah, let's not do that. It's okay. Also, I'm not too sure if you knew, but you had perfectly. So I had said, number, for the Viking slot, right? As Nilson said, and then you said Minnesota.
Oh, I knew it was perfect. So you just said it, I streaked it.
it was perfect timing. Okay, so let us get to our predictions.
This week looks interesting. So let me pop up the thing.
Yeah. We'll
see. Thursday night football. We have Dolphins taking on Cincinnati. I picked the Bengals because I believe the banged up Tua is going to be taken advantage of by the Bengals.
I picked also the Bengals. And nothing else to say.
Yeah, because fuck life. Well, actually, not fuck life. Here's actual fuck life moment. We have a London game. The Vikings versus the Saints, and I picked the Vikings because Saints let me down too much.
I too picked Minnesota, or as we all like to say, Minnesota! No, I think the London travels. Saints are still all fucky-wucky from their loss against Carolina. You don't find a win in England. It's possible. I mean, last time we went to London, England, we beat Miami, and people thought that we were going to be taking advantage of over there. That was back in, if I'm correct, 2017 or 2018. That was whenever Jay Cutler was quarterback.
2017.
It's a possibility. Jay Cutler was average. Kirk Cousins is average. As long as Kirk Cousins doesn't line up as a wide receiver and smokes a cigarette on the middle of the field, I'm pretty sure the Vikings will win out by 4 points. You hate to see it, but gosh, I hate to see it too.
I hate all of it. I hate everything. Next, we have the Seahawks versus the Lions, and I have to pick the Lions because I think, truthfully, Lions could actually be a 3-0 team right now. Maybe not 3-0, but at least 2-1. They would have won last week if it wasn't for some stupid decisions and play calling.
I'm going to pick Detroit as well, but I'm picking it cautiously. It's sort of a battle of which team is a little less average than the other team in front of them. I think Detroit has the right centerpieces to win, but so do the Seahawks. I'm picking the Lions because the Lions are at home.
Yeah. Next, we have the Jets versus the Steelers, and I pick Steelers. No.
Steelers, no other word.
Like, just nothing else. Next, we have Bears going to take on the Bears. Wait. Bears taking on
Bears really just fighting themselves, so I pick
the Giants.
The Giants. Yeah, okay.
Next, we have Titans versus Colts. This one's a bit hard, but I gotta go with the Colts.
I'm going with Tennessee. I believe that if they have faith in Henry, they'll get the job done.
Next, we have Chargers versus the Texans, which much as I want to pick the Texans, I don't think Chargers would genuinely do this to me.
I'm going to pick Houston because I think they'll do it to you.
Next, we have the Browns versus the Falcons, and I pick the Browns.
I'm going to pick Cleveland as well. I believe Cleveland has a superior run game, though I will not deny. It will be fun to see Hunt and Chubb versus Cordell Patterson. If Cordell Patterson starts playing quarterback, it'll be fun to see Watson step onto the field and catch a pass.
This is the game where you just let running backs go at each other, man.
I don't want to see a single pass in the air. Brissett, Mariota, know your roles. Run the ball. I just want to see run and run and run and run.
Next, we have the Communists versus Jerry World, and I pick the Communists because fuck Jerry's World.
You know, capitalism wins out, and that's why I picked Jerry's World.
Next, we have Jaguars versus Eagles, a.k.a. Doug Peterson's revenge game. But if anything's gone the way it has this season, Doug's not getting his revenge. Eagles are winning.
I have the Eagles winning. Not really slight. I think the Jaguars are just lucky because they beat Indianapolis, because they always beat Indianapolis and Jacksonville somehow, and then they beat the fuck out of the Chargers because they're all banged up to shit. I have the Eagles. They're a bit more impressive. They've won 2 more games in more impressive fashion than the Jaguars have. So, go Eagles.
And they're home. Next, which hopefully is going to be game of the week, Bills versus the Ravens. And I pick the Bills. But this is still going to be a really close game. This one's kind of hard, though.
I pick Buffalo, but cautiously. I think this is a battle between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. This is a battle between the two defenses. The Ravens have proven to have a very inconsistent defense. The Bills are all banged up in the secondary. However, as I mentioned to Kyle before the call started, before the podcast started, I believe that the Bills were able to hold down Waddle and Hill enough to make it a reasonably close game, considering how banged up they are in the secondary this year. So the moral is, or the big question is, can Lamar Jackson throw it to weaker receivers than Waddle and Hill that Tua had and succeed? We know he can do it on his legs. We know he can do it in the air sometimes, but this is the big prove yourself game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Next, you have Cardinals versus the Panthers. I picked the Panthers to win because I think Panthers are at least not as mediocre.
I picked Arizona because I don't know, man. I picked Las Vegas. Kyler Murray heard my cries. He played good. Maybe if I cry loud enough, he'll play good again, or maybe he'll just kick my ass in the game of Modern Warfare. I don't know, bro. I give up.
You give up, bro. Next, we have Broncos versus the Raiders, and I picked the Raiders because let's ride.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
I picked Denver.
Speaking of riding, let's ride to Green Bay to see Patriots versus the Packers. Oh boy. I pick the Packers because, yeah.
Yeah, Mac Jones. Even if Mac Jones was there, this would be an ass whooping. I picked the Packers.
Like, oof. Next, Sunday Night Football. Chiefs versus the Buccaneers. I picked the Chiefs. I just think this Buccaneers offense is just way too weak, and I think Chiefs are about to blow them the fuck out.
So I picked the Chiefs, but it's also another cautious pick for me as well, because I believe that if Mike Evans and Julio are back, I believe that gives Tom Brady 2 weapons they didn't have prior. It's really a matter of, can the Chiefs' defense hold the line?
It says if their special teams can.
Yeah, especially their special teams. And finally, Los
Monday Night
Angeles. The superior Los
Football.
Angeles. The superior Los Angeles.
We have the Rams versus the 49ers, and I pick the 49ers because they always beat Rams for some reason.
I picked the 49ers as well, but not for that reason. I pick it because I think Jimmy G, the Italian stallion, I think Jimmy G, with that smile of his, with that charisma, I think he's going to go to Los Angeles, sleep with Matthew Stafford's wife, if that's going to trip him up, thinking that, oh no, am I not good enough? And boom! 49ers win. They beat him off the field, psychology-wise. And then they beat him on the field. And Jimmy G beats himself off in the shower.
Oh, yeah. And with that, we must go because this is overtime now. Bye-bye.
Yeah!